Welcome, internets, to the Foolish Tech Show. We're here to support you and answer any questions or talk directly to you. If you want to jump in our live IRC chat over at foolishtech.com or foolishit.com/live, you can join our IRC chat there and watch the stream from there as well. And feel free to interrupt any of our information giving here with any questions or comments you have. We're always happy to hear them. And it looks like Undertaker's in the chat. Hey, Undertaker. It's going to be 104 degrees Fahrenheit where he is.
Oh,
Yo, Undertaker! Wow.
rough.
Yeah. He's in the southern hemisphere because it's spring for him, where it's fall for us. So cool. Try to chillax there.
Yeah, so yeah, they have so it's summer and Christmas, yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So I came across something interesting over the past day or so, and I'll just post that YouTube link in the chat there. It's called Predator: Dark Ages.
The drone?
From 2015. Let's see if this movie actually came out.
You mean like Predator?
Yeah, like Predator, the movies.
Get to the chopper.
With the Arnold Schwarzenegger and
You are serious.
Chopper.
apparently,
Thank you. Eric. That's awesome.
Serious.
apparently it's a movie that has come out already. And what caught my eye about this, besides just being Predator, was after watching the trailer, realizing that they're trying to do a Predator series during like the medieval ages. So like it's knights and
I'm getting that. Yeah.
crazy like
Wow.
What really?
Is this a? I mean, so this was released. The trailer's in 2015, so it's out.
Yeah,
And
it came out in 2015.
And so it did not go to theaters. Went straight to digital or whatever.
I don't know. I don't see
You went
that.
to the theater to see that.
Oh, maybe it appeared in the UK. It didn't have any release info for the US, but May 23rd it went to the UK. So, and I mean, I guess that's who that's aimed at, is the medieval ages, and showing the Predator with the likes of what's that wizard's name? Marvin? Not Marvin.
Merlin.
Close enough.
Marvin.
Merlin the wizard and
Get your Arthurian legend straight.
Here, Marvin the Wizard.
Hey, listen, Brantley, it's a short. It's 25 minutes long, the whole thing. So,
movie?
yes. So, I'm pretty
even better.
sure that it's just an independent sort of, weird.
It is.
Dark Ages follows a group of war-torn Templar knights who have returned from the eastern lands back to England, only to find that the enemy is now a lot closer and a lot more deadly than before. Throughout time, the Predator has always looked for the greatest warriors to fight in battle, and with this short film, we will see him put to the test against some of the best history has ever seen. The Templar knights. Battle with the Predators, the things that myth and legends are made of, blah, blah, blah. It's an independent fan film. Independent fan film, not associated
Yeah, we got
with
it, Michael. We got it. Oh,
Yeah, please stop.
Independent. You didn't have to verbatim read everything off of there. We'd probably copyright it for now.
I know, thanks.
Guest 68943 has a question about when are Foolish IT Black Friday deals coming out. And I'm going to go ahead and take a guess that probably
Black
Friday, yeah. That'd be when I'd let them out. Normally we do have a Black Friday and Cyber Monday deal, so just stay tuned to our blog and you'll definitely see it come across there. That's normally how we announce those type of things. I'm sure we'll mention it on the show as well, so watch the show and keep an eye on our blog. You'll get all kinds of those deals coming out and coming forward. So yeah, they're definitely coming. We have them every year. Info to be released, though. One last interesting one I found was The Forest. This is a horror movie come out in 2016. What I really liked about this is it's about the suicide forest at the end of, or at the foot of the big mountain over there. I forget what it's called, and I forget what that forest is called, but there's a forest there.
The forest of the big mountain over there.
Yeah,
Mount Fuji, that's the one.
Okay, that's a little
Big
more
mountain.
descriptive.
Yeah.
Big mountain, Mount Fuji. There's a forest there, and like it's where Japanese people go to
Commit suicide.
contemplate killing themselves and to kill
Harry
themselves.
Carey. Yeah.
So, I don't think many of them Harry Carey anymore.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
Um,
That was a good.
they're
call.
wandering the forest trying to kill themselves. I think they're not cut out to Harry Carey. Obviously.
You don't
I think
know
I've seen a
you don't know the
documentary on the place. 'Cause I think it's a real place.
It is a real place.
I think I've seen a documentary on it.
Yeah, it is a real place. That's why I was interested in the movie, is that they're doing a movie about that place, but
Nice.
they're taking it much more.
So it's called Akigahara. Akigahara. Suicide.
It sounds like your face hurts when you're trying to sound this.
It's a 35 square kilometer forest that lies at the northwest base of Mount Fuji in Japan.
Yep. Thanks for verbatim reading that again.
Mm-hmm.
Michael has no idea what paraphrasing means.
No.
But check out that movie. I think it'll be interesting. I like the Japanese forest side that they're taking, and it looks like they're going to have some supernatural stuff, especially from the thumbnail they picked for the video. Not exactly the best special effects there, but it may be interesting, worth the thrill. Alright, so Nick, Zombie Worm wants to know, are you having a beer today?
Uh-oh. What's today? Shit.
And
It's Friday at 6 o'clock. Yes, I have a beer.
I need to start keeping beer at the office.
It's
You don't already?
No, I don't.
I still don't have a freaking shot
You don't
glass at
have
the
a
bottom
Friday
drawer.
after 5 fridge?
Oh, somebody may have beer in the fridge here, but I don't want to drink that nasty beer.
Oh,
oh,
and
yeah. And thank you, guest. He's excited to see D7 and X in action. He's a D7 fan, PCRT fan. I didn't see D7 there, but okay.
Yeah.
And
Great
it's
shows.
Sculpin by Ballast Point. Before you ask anyone, it's awesome.
the same one.
Anyway, I was hoping to replace my router shortly, and I was wondering if somebody could provide some recommendations on a good buy, maybe, and their opinions on, their experiences with
Not
various
Netgear.
models.
Not for you. I might do it for Tank, but Tank really got a laugh out of that.
My problem is that I purchased my last two routers based on recommendation of someone who's asking now for recommendations, and I'm not happy with them.
Well,
those two routers are still serving just fine for me, by the way.
You don't have my routers.
One's now 7 years old, and the other one's about 1.5 years old.
My routers ain't even nearly that old, dude.
so
These routers
Nick,
ain't been
you
out
should
that
have
long.
taken his suggestion from like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Bought one on eBay.
Yeah, well, I didn't want a 7-year-old router. I was hoping for.
What were you thinking? God.
Guess
Awesome.
does
He does
have
have the
D7
D7
too.
one. Yes.
He loves it.
Awesome. Great.
Very
Loved it.
awesome.
Excellent. We're actually doing. Can I talk about it? Do you think it's too early? You think it's too early to talk about it?
Talk about what?
Did you just flip us all off? Why did you put your hand up?
What me and Proctor are doing?
Oh,
I could use some help.
I don't know why not to talk about it.
What
Well,
are
it
you
might be.
doing?
We might be too far
yeah,
off.
it might be. Yeah, yeah,
It
You
might
just
be
lost
too
everyone
far
now.
off of completing.
yeah,
We don't
yeah.
have to
You're
talk
right.
about
You're right. Maybe we should save that.
Yeah, we ain't saving nothing.
Now
No, I'm just
everybody's
kidding.
gonna want to.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Secrets!
We're working. No secrets, no secrets.
Hey,
No,
don't
no,
eat
no,
any
no.
cookies,
Something that he
kids, but the
wants to
jar's
talk
right over
about, but he's
there.
not
I'll
gonna.
tell him.
What?
I'll tell him.
Oh, Lord.
Go ahead. You already built it
Maybe
up enough.
maybe you should chalk in generalities.
I've built it up way too much. In fact,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
built it
The
up way
cliffhanger.
too
Give
much.
him a reason to tune in next Friday.
No, just. Oh, we did do a discussion on Repair Shop R. Change the subject.
We did not do a discussion on Repair Shop R yet. That's
No,
going.
we didn't.
No,
No,
that's
it was been
after.
PC repair tracker.
Oh, that. Oh, he said. Repair Shop R. My bad. Oops.
PC Repair Tracker has a. Are you still doing one more segment on that, Proctor?
At least one more.
Okay, so we got.
Oh, dude wants
More
a
segments of
D7X
PC.
banner. Hey, guest, I want a D7X banner too. Proctor's got mine. I can't even say it's mine. He designed it. He's got it. I don't even have one. I had a D7 one, but that's actually in some stuff somewhere.
But you still have it?
I think I do.
Cool.
I think I do. Well, I know where it is. She has it.
Ah.
I was gonna say that's why we got that one is because you couldn't get the other one.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Because I don't want to go get it.
Repair Tracker is going to be coming up in later segments. Maybe we'll give
Repair
Proctor
shopper.
Repair Shopper.
Shopper.
Oh, gee, okay. It's
PC Repair
PCRT,
Tracker is
PCR,
Repair track.
and Repair Shop R. Right?
Well, you just said
There's
it.
some
so
repairing and there's some
different
shopping
versions
and
of
there's some
it.
R's in there.
I don't know. They're both crazy names for products. I'll tell you that. Though. Wild.
We may have to make Proctor do an all-week segment so that he just does one every day, so that we can get.
It looks like it's getting to that. Unfortunately, Proctor. We're sorry.
Oh,
To get
Lord,
through with PC repair tracker.
Well, no, you're gonna have to do it every week, all week, until you're done.
Till I'm done.
You make it done
Tune in
very, very
next week
quickly.
for
then.
Proctor Week.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we can go ahead and get on to the router buying stuff.
Oh, is that what we're doing today? I had no idea.
Oh, Lord. Proctor uses some QuickBooks now.
Proctor is a quick booking fool.
Oh, we're gonna have a QuickBooks show.
Yeah, I
any
use
Banging
QuickBooks.
people out of the show.
We can have any kind of show you want to, especially if it's on foolish stuff.
QuickBooks is so boring, though. I mean, I hated working
Well,
on.
that's not foolish stuff. I do hate QuickBooks.
It's boring to you. That's
I can't.
an
Damn,
opinion.
QuickBooks. You want to teach QuickBooks?
CPAs.
Teach that QuickBooks database connector thing. You make that thing work on the system. I want to see that work.
I have.
I'm gonna throw
all the time.
QuickBooks away.
You know, I have recent experience with troubleshooting the connector and all that stuff over at our good friends.
Yeah, that's what I want to see work.
You know, our good friends on the Outer Banks, but it's just everywhere I go that runs QuickBooks, there's always something.
What are you talking about? He's always talking about things I don't understand what he's saying.
I'm not a big fan of
Definitely a
Intuit
lot.
software, is what I'm getting at, especially its networkability.
I don't think anybody ever knows what he's saying.
Is that like Quicken?
Oh God, you did.
Quicken.
Quicken.
Why is it?
It's the same thing.
I got those
That's
Revenge
why-
of the Nerd hiccup.
How many
things
times have
going
you
on.
heard, I use Quicken at the office, and it's actually QuickBooks?
Skullneck?
I hear that a lot sometimes. I used to hear that a lot. Not
I just watched Revenge
Undertaker
of the
hates
Nerds
accounting
like
rubbish.
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Bring
thank you.
I'm the
MS
accountant in
Money.
the
Bring
group.
MS Money back from like 1998 or something like that. That's all anybody ever needed from him.
No, actually, 98's taken it even far. I think
Or
Money
was it 95?
95 was
95.
Money
Yes, 95.
95 was
One. Yeah,
awesome.
95 was the one.
Money,
I just threw out a 90 name because I
I
couldn't
had
remember which one it was, but
on floppy.
it's 95. Yeah, I still have somebody that runs that. I
Came
believe.
with something.
Yeah, he runs
Came
it
free
under.
with something, I think,
It
actually.
will still run under modern versions of Windows,
I think
folks.
you're right.
It's
Mm-mm.
Yes, it will. It will. My friend still runs it, and he still has his personal finances, family's finances, all in that to this day.
It's so weird that Money will. Well, I mean, with other products, they have not.
But they
Like
completely
Microsoft Small
deprecated the
Business
product.
Accounting, Office Small Business Accounting. Yeah. But anyway.
No yawning.
Oh, sorry. I had to feed the baby a lot last night.
Are you serious, Zombie Worm?
Another baby card.
He's serious.
I know.
Is
Plain
it worth? What does he mean by worth it? Do you guys talk that I don't know? What does he mean by worth it?
I mean, I think it's a worthwhile step, especially if you're running Windows 8. It definitely is a worthwhile step.
If you don't mind, like, like, okay, every computer messes up a little while, and every OS messes up a little while. It doesn't matter what it is, but every once in a while. And you know what? Windows 7 is one of them, even. But Windows 10 messes up, I think, a little bit more than average. A bit more than average, actually. But for all of its messing up, I think it does good for me, just better than messing up. The messing up part. Kind of. It's really frustrating when it does, because I was like, man, Windows 7 didn't do this, but yeah. Yeah, I've never had an update hang. I've never had that happen. Now, I actually no, I didn't mention this on the show. Can I just? You're going to talk. I was going to talk about fixing D7 too. I had a Windows Update issue with the latest build, the 576 or whatever, 586 or whatever it is right now, and I couldn't install it, and for 2 weeks now, it wouldn't install. It just, it would reboot and it would be like, I'm gonna install, just reboot me, and I'd reboot and it wouldn't install. And sometimes it would, some processes would crash, like CSC would crash and some other things would crash on the way down doing the reboot, but so yeah, I wasn't very happy, and this went on for a couple weeks, and I thought, maybe they'll fix it, I'll delete my update cache, and maybe they'll fix it, and no, so I finally whipped out D7.2 and ran the aggressive Windows Update repair, and yeah, I rebooted, and then after that, I rebooted again. It re-downloaded the update. I rebooted again, and it worked that time. Yeah.
And I had told him to use that D7 to repair.
Yeah, he told me to do it 2 weeks ago too. He was like, use D7 too, and I was like, they'll fix it.
Yeah.
I was like, Chrome.
Microsoft
I was like, why not?
fixes
Chrome
update
fixes
problem.
itself. Chrome OS will fix itself. Why not Windows 10 now? They should be fixing themselves. Just fix yourself, fool. And then it doesn't. So I finally whipped out D7.2, which is usually normally the first thing I go to, or I tell people I go to, and I do go to a lot of times first thing. But this time I just wanted to see, and sure enough. D7.2 can prevent the restart, the automated restarts too. By the way, with the Windows Update, the group policy settings that you can manipulate in there. Yes, we are talking Miss Rowcroft here. Ms. Rowcroft.
Yes.
But they're doing better. They got new leadership.
I've had 7 or 8 systems I've upgraded to Windows 10. The only one I had problems with was on my desktop system. my primary system, of course. And I really haven't had any.
Because it's where it'll happen.
Yeah,
I haven't had any problems with it on my laptop either, but
I haven't had any issues with it upgrading otherwise or just operating normally. I mean, there are some times where other programs interfere with it operating normally, but usually that's because I am not doing something right. Everything else seems to work a lot better. It is also nicer that when you install Windows 10, it recognizes most all of your devices by default, so that's nice.
so is Chrome OS. And yes, the November patch is the problem that I had. That's the one that wouldn't install for like 2 weeks for me. So I got it earlier than, I don't know why. I guess I'm on the fast track, but yeah, it wouldn't install forever.
So does Chrome OS. What are you talking about?
You said something about, I don't know, what were you just saying? And I was like, whatever it was, I was like, so's Chrome OS. Oh, recognizes hardware. Recognizes all your hardware.
Yeah.
So's Chrome OS. I'm actually blown away at all the
yeah.
hardware it recognizes.
You've installed that on a lot of systems and it's detected all the hardware? So I'm pretty sure it
Well,
only gets installed if the hardware comes
but I did plug a lot of hardware, a lot of various hardware into the system I have it on, and it detected all of it fine. I was very impressed.
Speakers, keyboard,
Peripherals, full
mouse.
peripherals. These are nice things. This headset, for example, it knows what kind of headset it is, and and all kind of stuff, and the camera and all kinds of mess. It's come a long way, okay? When I was running Slackware 1, 2, 3 back in the day, it didn't recognize all of these things, okay? And X Windows and X386, whatever.
That's interesting to note. It appears Undertaker had the most issues with antivirus or malware being on the system during the upgrade. And I could see both of those causing some issues, possibly.
Yeah. Oh, it's possible. Oh, the November update. Oh, did you guys mention that? Yeah.
Yeah, he already mentioned it.
That's what I've been talking about.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I haven't really noticed any of the new features that they added into it.
The memory compression. The memory compression. Anybody notice any of that? Because that's the first. The November update was the first live build release that has the memory. It compresses pages of memory. And doesn't compress them.
Yeah. I saw the performance gain and I knew right away what that had to have been.
Yeah, that would be the most likely one that people would know.
It was in the release notes that appeared after the update. That's where I must have read it.
Well, I do have the system and compressed memory.
Tell us about it.
I can tell you a detail about what they're doing. They're taking pages of memory that have been idle and they are compressing them. They may also do a little bit more intelligence on pages that are likely just to be good candidates for compression.
So for system and compressed memory, I have a gigabyte dedicated to that apparently, and it appears it's always using 1 point something % of my processor. So that's really nice.
Huh.
Plus, I still have 72% of my memory being used. And Chrome.
Hey, what's taking up all your EA? Chrome is.
Obviously, Chrome. Yeah, Chrome is the likely for memory and processor usage.
Yeah, Chrome is hungry.
Or, well, more specifically, Hangouts in general. And Google.
Chrome is
Google
anything
by Google. Anything by Google. They believe just because they have infinite resources in their company that that the rest of the world does as well. But unfortunately, no.
All right. Well, let's get on with the show here.
Was there
Sorry
a show?
for the negativity. It's Friday. We should be happy. Yeah.
It's half over.
Industrious i7. Wouldn't go that far. but it is crunching some units right now.
Oh, don't push me, guys. We got to
Alright.
keep up with the chats. They're going crazy. Undertaker and Zombie over there.
I was. Michael, you should less talk and more read.
Mm-hmm.
Read to yourself, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
It's
your
all
head
typing
voice.
it out loud. Yeah.
Use your brain voice, not your mouth voice.
So, it's not wasting megahertz. I got lots of uses for it. It's finding aliens when it's not.
Yeah,
videos.
he's finding aliens. He's got things out there searching the galaxy.
Yep. Noodly appendages.
Oh gosh.
All right, so
It's determining Michael's precise location.
Yeah, let's get on that, Brandon.
yeah, steady crunching. All right, so for wireless routers, if I was in for this, this is what I would normally start off with. I'd just go to Amazon and do that keyword search. And you get a page kind of like this. And I've gone through this first page of things and taken the ones I liked, and we're going to talk some more about. I would like to note that the WRT 54GL is still hanging tight in there at $50. So if you wanted to replace it with that exact same one, you can get the newer, later, better version of it. Tank.
Well, that's decent price.
Yeah. So what I did was I just took some of these, and we can go through them here. And this one I thought was interesting, even though it's one of the sponsored links. I just kind of wanted to briefly touch on it, because this is the size of a plug, and it's a wireless router. I just thought that was pretty neat. It can be used as a Wi-Fi extender or an access point or a bridge. So you can use it for several different things if you wanted to expand your wireless range. I can't see this getting really good range, like outside of maybe these one rooms that they're showing off here. But I just thought it was interesting to see, and for $20, that's pretty cool. You can just plug it in and hook it directly into an Ethernet cord. This is the cheapest one that's on there, and going off the price, I'm already kind of dubious of it. It doesn't have dual band, and I'm betting it doesn't have gigabyte ports. And don't see that right off here. Oh, no, it does have gigabyte Ethernet ports, so that's good. But it is only single band and it supports up to wireless N. The latest and greatest wireless is going to be AC, so normally if you're going to buy a router, you want to have it for a couple years, so you probably want to go ahead and get one that supports the latest wireless standard so that you can be ready when your products start catching up with that standard.
Somebody told me about this. I've not been able to confirm it, but of a router that actually had gigabit WAN or LAN ports and not a gigabit WAN port. Anybody run across that?
No.
Well, just be careful.
Yeah, and Zombie Worm says that this one is pure crap, and that many of the TP links have interfaces that are dubious or sucks.
I personally have found that they have by far the highest bad reviews, that they're consistently bad. But this is a case like what Nick was mentioning, in that I had a couple of good products from Netgear, and he had a couple of particularly bad ones from there. So.
But for the price, $20, and having 8,000 people say it has 4 stars, mostly 5-star ratings, it might just be worth having 10 of them
But these are all very model specific, typically, these types of advice. So, and that was the case with Netgear. I had one that worked for me, and, you know.
But I wouldn't recommend this one because it's only wireless and doesn't have dual band or any of the fun features of the new stuff.
Yeah, lots of.
Next one for $20 is a Netgear. And I had one similar to this, and it lasted me for a good...
Yeah, actually,
4 or 5
Undertaker,
years.
to tell you the truth, yes, we all do here. I have 100 megabits. My buddy that just had that problem that told me about it, he upgraded to 200, and that's when he noticed 200 megabits, and that's when he noticed the problem. But yeah, gigabit is starting to become a larger and larger issue for the places that have are capable, at least. And sorry, guys, otherwise.
Yeah, no, I've never had a router that was, or I've never had internet that needed more than 100 megabits. And we're sure Michael doesn't either, but he'll tell you otherwise. Alright, so the next one on the chart, this is probably about the price range I would be looking for a decent wireless router in. It's probably the $80 to $120 range or so. Usually you're going to find ones that'll last you for a little while, plus have all the latest and greatest standards. Which you can see this one has AC 1750 dual band wireless AC gigabyte router. So this one wouldn't be bad, but it is from the TP-Link, so it's probably on the lower end of that band. You should rent a condo near Michael. They have a great barbecue place.
And
barbecue
Brantley, we were just
down the street.
Brantley too. We were just talking about Brantley. We were only talking about the bandwidth that we have on the WAN port. And yes, 100 megabits on the WAN port is something that I want to be able to take advantage of, since that's the bandwidth that I currently have offered to me and that I'm currently receiving.
Michael, are you just catching up from something I said like 5 minutes ago? Is your internet lagging that bad? Dude,
You must have a TP-Link.
Yeah, you need to upgrade.
Yeah.
You need a gigabyte WAN port.
I think I'm having the delay on their end, on the typing end, on the chat end, apparently.
So, the next one up is gonna kind of get into the outrageous price range. I don't think I would pay $150 to $200 for a router.
Oh.
Some people might, and I think this one is the lower version of what Nick got that Michael recommended, and he hates. So don't get this one. The Nighthawks are no good.
I've heard a lot of good things, but
I have I think it's R7000, R8000.
They seem hit or miss. There's some good ones and some bad ones, but I've had.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Wow.
Anything with an R in front of it and belonging to Netgear for me. Yeah, it's not working.
The WNDR specifically have been
most definitely not worth the money. Oh my goodness, not worth the money.
Undertaker says these Netgear routers are over $300 in Australia.
Oh, wow, well definitely.
I think the suggested retail price on them is $299.
Yeah, $249 for the Nighthawk. But yeah, they do have to pay more for shipping and stuff to Australia. But Nick does not recommend these, so I wouldn't even waste your effort on testing them out. Just stay away from it.
We don't always, Nick and the rest of us don't always see eye to eye. We all have equal and unique opinions. But yeah, just these aren't guarantees. These are things we've just come by and have experience with, one either good or bad, not always both, and not always equally for all the techs.
I think Netgear owns Netgear. Nope, a subsidiary of the Bay Networks.
Yeah.
Oh, Bay Networks. They're more. They're larger. It's like Cisco bought Linksys. You know.
Yeah, that's who owns Netgear, Bay Networks. Speaking of Linksys.
Michael, are you getting a TP-Link?
No, that's his lagging that they were commenting on,
Mm-hmm.
answering questions that were 3 or 4 minutes.
Speaking of jumping in late.
Undertaker says he stays out of the cheap Netgears and the expensive Netgears. So.
Oh, he's with you then.
Not a bad idea.
Right.
Not a bad
Nick
idea.
loves
Well, isn't that like all the Netgear? I mean, is there a mid-range Netgear
Yeah.
really?
This next option isn't a bad option, especially if you're trying to go for a small area. I would say probably this Linksys AC900 is going to get you the
Didn't you have one like that for?
best of all worlds, because it'll get you the dual band and wireless AC and get you gigabyte all in one under $50 package. So that's kind of nice, and it is surprising that they're advertising that under Linksys. I thought they had gone to all switching to Cisco branding, but I guess they brought it back.
No, they are really inconsistent with that. On some devices that they do with this, they'll have, in some places, have Cisco on the device, and some places have Linksys. I've actually seen that.
This next one is probably the one I would go with if I decided to get a new router, although it's a little bit on the pricey side. I've actually had extremely good relations with this Asus router that I have. I don't even know if I can find it. Let's see if I can see what it is. Asus RT N12. Whoa! Trying to kill people. So this is the one I got. It's not dual band. It doesn't have gigabyte ports, but it does everything I need it to do. And I found out recently that it can be switched to AP mode so that you can use all of the LAN ports without a problem. So that's pretty awesome. What did 404? Oh, they didn't take my web address for that. That's not cool. Undertaker found it for you. That's good. I wonder why they didn't take that. That's kind of funny. I hate Amazon links. I'll just have to get them all again. We'll get them later. So this is probably the one I would go with. It's going to get you the best of everything and get me that same Asus firmware that I like so much so far. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. And what is this? AIP protection. Trend Micro. Are they putting Trend Micro on the firmware? That's pretty crazy.
I'm not a big fan of antivirus companies and some of these new ones getting involved with the routers. I mean, not routers. Yeah, routers. And the security. I hate when they do that. When they have links to software.
I like when they do it.
I don't.
I like free software. The next one that
I had a very similar Asus, like it was like the NRTN 65 or see, it might have been 66. Yeah, that's probably what you got right there. I had that one. That was an awesome router.
That was an awesome router. So Nick likes this router.
Yeah. It looked a little different, but I'm pretty sure the model name is the same. But it looked the same except for on the front.
Yeah, and this one's a little bit better in the price range. So
Yeah.
that would probably be the price range that I would aim for.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose out much getting the lower ACs, I don't think, because I don't think ACs have even been really certified truly. But yeah, so far I really
Actually,
like my Asus router.
Actually, Undertaker, I know you're talking about Trim Micro. You're going to really not believe me. Actually, you're just going to think I'm lying or I'm full of it. But I had an office full of, well, it was a dozen ladies who were very prone to stuff, infections, and things. And with Trend Micro, when I first got a hold of them, they had Trend Micro, and I didn't have a problem with them forever. And I was like, Trend Micro, and it always caught stuff. I mean, but it was the worry free. I think it eventually became worry free something, SMB. It wasn't but it really did well, and it was not at all like the end user one. But I've heard people say that it was bad too. I just didn't see it. I saw it catch a lot of crap. I mean, it caught all kinds of junk from emails and other things. And it was most of the email protection was the best. That's what did it, But that's what makes a good corporate AV anyway. But catching it at the server, in my opinion. But it did very good for me anyway. But this was many years ago, so this was 2008-ish. So
I'm just going to repaste those links real quick so I have a reference for them later. I wish Amazon didn't make it so easy to copy links.
I can tell you once I swapped them to Microsoft Security Essentials a year or so later, that the infection rate definitely increased. I'll say that. And that was at a time when Microsoft Security Essentials was getting favorable ratings, whether those were true or not.
Zombie Worm said those ladies that got a lot of infections.
Oh, just listen. Oh, God, that's bad.
Yes. Hey, so Nick, what made you leave the Asus to get the Netgear? Was it just based on Michael's opinion?
It was actually Michael's recommendation. I was looking at going to an AC router, and Michael recommended. He was just profusely recommending. He had, I believe, an AC, but it was a lesser model of the Netgear, and he loved it. And
so he had the mid-range one.
Yeah.
You went for the most expensive.
And I went for the most expensive. I was like, whoa! I was like, oh, I wanted to try the. And I was like, Actually, at the time it was dual band.
So
now the one
what
I got
kind of problems are you
tri-band.
having with that Netgear router, Nick?
It just blows. I mean, like the throughput, it's like.
It may just be the
we were just recently over
doesn't
there.
handle.
one you got. I don't know.
I think it's a large number of devices that it doesn't handle. It also doesn't like.
And remember, there are multiple models of, as Brantley has touched on previously. There's different revisions of even the same, like the Nighthawk. So, for instance, they could have earlier models that are better than later models, and later ones that are better than earlier ones. So there's variability.
Or you could just not go for Michael's recommendation.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, but I used to have issues, like, issues with the wireless dropping off here and there every once in a while. I mean, it was like that was with the the first Netgear.
We were having bandwidth issues at your house.
This one, and I think it's a large number of devices. With the other one, it was with the one before this, the Netgear, it was always dropping wireless. It would just randomly drop all the time. And through, obviously multiple firmware updates, different settings, troubleshooting, etc. over years. Just no love.
We were over at your house recently, and we were having wireless issues.
Mm-hmm.
Too, so. Nick
Yeah.
also puts his
And
router
the last
on the
one,
top floor.
and yeah, I have one up here, and then I have one below on the floor below, or in the main floor with which is the older one. And
So the one that was giving you all those problems you left on your network.
in a different mode now. It's but anyway, it serves a different function. Doesn't
So
route.
this is one that I did want to touch on because of
Oh, but it
its
doesn't. Never mind.
uniqueness. This one is the OnHub router from Google, and this is their attempt at a wireless router. Some things that I haven't liked about it right off the bat was that you can only
TP-Link.
configure it from, well, yeah, it's a TP-Link, but also that you can only configure it from a cell phone. Like, that's the only option you have to configure it is through a mobile app. Kind of aggravating that route, but it does have an interesting design. They have a circular.
Can I throw in here for a minute? Just to interrupt, but Guest was talking and he says it's off topic, but actually it's on topic. And he's doing a cleanup with D72 right now. Is there any way to do a text alert instead of an email alert? Brantley, I don't know if there's any way you know of to get an email to a text, but or even maybe a Twitter, because I can say that D7X will have I'm hoping to have a Twitter functionality in D7X.
Yeah, I mean you can
I don't
have
know
it.
about SMS, but
You can have it.
anyway.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. I gotta take my leave now. It's dinner time. It came a little bit early in the timing today, so and Y's here, so we're all gonna eat together.
Okay.
All right, man.
And
Good
I will
evening.
see y'all later by internet. Y'all work it out amongst yourselves. Hope everything works out. Everyone have a good time. Bye
All right, John.
bye.
Later.
Chat Wyatt.
So, guest, for your question, there's not a straightforward way to do SMS messaging if that's what you're looking for. Honestly, my text messages come to the same phone that my emails come to, so that's why we never really considered it a big issue. Yeah, that would actually be a good topic, Undertakers, to go over cordless headsets. Back on your question, though, guest, I would say Nick plans to have Twitter options for D7X, and you can use their built-in text messaging to get tweets to your phone through SMS if you wanted to go that route. But as of right now, there's no way that you're going to be able to get a text message instead of a email alert. Yeah, like I said, it was designed because most everyone's phones get text messages and emails at the same time. So.
Yeah, and unless you had, your mail account forwarding all received mail to some sort of service that automatically converted it to a text, which I'm not aware of one, and I'm not sure there would be anything like that for free. So.
Yeah, because that is something else is you do have to normally pay to send text messages. So, this is actually the Asus version of the OnHub router. From what I've seen, it goes for a little bit more costly. So,
I would definitely get the Asus version of it.
The TP-Link was $199. I think this one goes for like $220. But yeah, if I went with one of these, I would probably go with the Asus version of it as well. But I think these are not really designed towards everyday techs. It's more designed towards everyday people where you just plug and play, basically.
It's not for the ones that are in the know. It's just for probably ease of use. So they're turning it into a better, simpler experience maybe. But for consumers, and that's all well and good, and I think that's great. But I really don't think this is going to be something that will, and our audience is probably going to flock to, unless there's some killer tech feature in it. but I don't see
Well,
that.
you can boost Wi-Fi on a particular device with the wave of your hand.
Oh, yeah, the waving. Now that's
Pretty nice.
can impress people. I can also turn off and on my lights with a clap of my hand, but I'm not so sure that that's
You're such
going to
an old
justify
person.
the $250 cost or whatever.
So that is another option that's out there for routers.
Hey, Brantley, I don't mean to interrupt you, but back on the sending an SMS
Yeah.
from email, you can do that with certain providers. I just sent myself an email or a text message to my phone from email. It's my phone number at mms.att.net.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
So yeah, you might want to check with your phone provider and see if they have an option like that.
And I know there's one for Verizon. If you from your phone, if you just try to text your email address, it'll come from an email. Your MMS will come from an email address.
If I text an email address.
Text an email address, yeah.
Oh, texting. I wonder how that's going to work. With this.
I know there's an AT&T one. I know there's a Verizon one. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't remember what the Verizon one is.
VZ. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it. Yeah, I can probably figure it out, but.
Really? I have to have them in my contacts before I can text message them? What kind of retardedness is that?
Anyway, I would like to. I want to consider maybe going into the in depth on the feature list of the technical feature lists of the router. So let's say we'll pick one, a brand. I don't care what it is, whether it be Asus or Cisco or Linksys or whatever. But let's actually go through the process of selecting one and talk about the features that would be good to pick, what to look for, what the difference is. I know all of them are 30 to 100 or whatever, but what does that really mean?
What?
Like you see a router advertising 3.2 gigahertz speeds or something like that, and you're like, what the hell? Why aren't I getting that?
Now this thing is pretty interesting. The KISS link.
Okay.
One button setups. And you can easily expand it across your house. Cool.
Yeah, the guest mentions that he's been lucky with his Netgear Nighthawk at home. He has 3 kids with the PS4, Netflix, and Hulu playing constantly all the time, he says.
So he has had good lucks with his Netgear Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Netgear Nighthawk.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the size of his house or the wireless coverage, but I imagine with the children, they're pushing the limits and running around and stuff. So I'd probably say it's a good recommendation. Oh, and
This one I thought was cool. You have a touch screen on your router.
Oh, neat. How much is that one?
$100.
Huh.
And you can include installation. Dish Smart Home Services.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna
this
pass on
is
that.
going for a satellite.
That seems more like a novelty. Plus, the last thing I need is another thing lit up at night.
Yeah, some of these routers getting a little insane. Some of these routers getting a little bit insane with the lights. They can be a problem for sleeping for some people.
The lights on my modem are insane. I would have to cover them.
Yeah. So
Zombie Worm says no, just no to the touchscreen router.
No, Bradley, yeah. Credibility, Bradley.
It's better than having to configure your your
To the cell
router on
phone.
your cell phone. I think it's a
Well,
little bit
yeah, but
step above.
you're comparing two horrible things, like they're both pretty bad. So let's move on to something that's, like I said, if we could talk about a little bit more about AC technology, why people want AC versus N,
Why would people
they
want
why they
AC? What are the technical benefits of everything? Go through it.
well, mostly beamforming is the big thing.
Do
So
you
to
know
make it
why I didn't spend any time on those?
why?
Because no one cares.
Oh,
No one cares. As long
alright.
as you buy the the top name that's out right now, you're probably not even going to have devices that are AC compatible for another 2 or 3 years. So if you just buy the latest wireless standard, then you'll be okay for the next 2 to 3 years when you slowly start to have wireless devices that take advantage of that.
I wanted to point out the Buffalo Air Station because it
No.
you can buy it with
DD-WRT.
DD-WRT already installed.
Yes.
That's
Buffalo is
a,
really good.
that's a good point. Undertaker said, "Who needs a nightlight? Just put the modem and router in the kids' room."
True
Yeah, that's
story.
right. Actually, my router is in my daughter's room.
I
Wow.
have a true
It
story,
lights it up too.
Let's hear it, Johnny.
which probably is horrible,
No.
but it's a true story.
Okay.
So when me and this guy that I used to date first got together, it was like an over the internet thing for a while, and I was laying down on my bed, like on my stomach, and I had the webcam face towards the door, and he was like, "What's that thing flashing behind you?" And I like held my finger over my shoulder and kind of pointed at it through the webcam, and I was like, "You mean this thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, what is it?" I was like, "Oh, it's just my heart monitor," and moved on like all nonchalantly. And he's like, "Wait, your heart monitor?" And I was like, "No, it's my router. I just wanted to make it sound cooler."
Yeah, Zombie Worm is correct. Proctor, that Buffalo doesn't have a touchscreen.
Yeah, we can't buy the Buffalo.
Sorry to disappoint.
Ruined it.
Is that what you have, and you recommend that though?
The Buffalo.
Yeah.
I've used them. They're they're pretty reliable, and come with their customized DD-WRT firmware.
Yeah, they're yeah, and it's a little maybe nicer than I think it looks a little bit nicer than DD-WRT or something. It's Buffalo branded, but it's got all the same features. So yeah, I've seen it on an old version of DD-WRT and an old Buffalo router about 10 years ago, and I thought they were fine. Just don't. They're not a. I don't know. They just don't have. Don't have a large range. Maybe I'm wrong. How big are they? The company Buffalo.
What? They're pretty well known.
Yeah, they're pretty well known.
Buffalo routers.
We can go ahead and grade them right now. We would say Asus and Buffalo, and then Netgear, and then TP-Link. I'm not even putting OnHub on that list.
Where would you put the Linksys?
The Linksys would probably be in between TP-Link and Netgear for me. Just because I've had so many more issues with Linksys than I have with Netgear, and I've had a few TP-Links, and almost always the only thing I've ever done with TP-Links is replace them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is the bad sign of a bad router, is that if you've never seen a TP-Link that you haven't just had to replace. Like, that makes it sound bad. Yeah, D-Link, I haven't even had them on my wireless radar for a long time. I didn't even still know they make products.
Now this is the
I
one you
burned through a
need.
number of those a few
This
years
is
ago.
the one you need from Buffalo.
Okay.
This is a dual. It has a dual core
Um,
gigahertz processor. And then,
Undertaker also said that Apple devices are AC compatible, but
Yes.
it's the latest Apple devices are AC compatible.
yeah,
So
okay.
you have to have an iPhone 6 or a new MacBook Air this year. So again, things that probably aren't going to make it into everybody's homes until a couple years from now when their cell phone contracts run out and they get to upgrade. Um, D-Link, the high-class TP-Link. That's probably about right there. And geez, why would you want that one, Michael?
Because it's their next generation version of the one that Proctor set out. It's three. What does it offer? It looks like it's got
Has external antennas.
yeah, the external antennas. It's 3x3, I believe, as far as the antenna arrays.
$200 is kind of expensive for a router.
But it's white, though. I like my routers black.
They're so racist.
I like a big black router myself.
White routers matter.
I'm just gonna have to mute all of you.
People awful.
So yeah, and there are Apple routers, and I've never seen any good people talk any good things about Apple routers. Unless they want time capsule and all their iTunes stuff to work together, but if they're doing all that, I'm not even going to be in their house, so I won't be helping them with their Apple junk, overpriced junk.
As the slowest device on your network, no, it doesn't revert. You're not reverting to lower speeds just because you have a lower device standard, but when you have different standards coexisting, it reduces the
They're not
performance
good
overall of your network.
Yeah, no, and it's not like a chain that if you have a slow device on your network, it's going to slow everybody else down. Especially with the dual band options and tri-band options now.
Yeah.
You're on a whole different band, it's not even going to matter.
Yeah, it's not nearly shouldn't be a concern. That was what he was getting at. It was hard to tell.
They used to have those kind of options. Yeah, if you add an access point, especially if you're doing like what I'm doing with a wireless bridge access point, where it's extending my Wi-Fi wirelessly, then it is going to slow things down because it's going through two wireless connections to get out to the internet versus one. But that's something else to keep in mind, is that you can always convert those things to other things. The other part that I did want to mention on the show was the fact that if you're buying a new router, you're not going to be able to easily search for a DD-WRT compatible router, at least buying it new, because you never know what hardware revision you're going to buy or what you're going to get when you buy it new. So that's something to keep in mind, unless you're going through like eBay and getting a used router so you know exactly which hardware revision and stuff it is. So.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the the Buffalo is probably the recommended solution for pre-installed DD-WRT, or something like that, or maybe one of the other manufacturers should do the same thing like that.
And Undertaker, the WAN's not always the slowest link in the chain. That's actually the only reason that I would get gigabyte LAN ports, is so that when I'm transferring files between LAN ports, it goes a lot faster.
Yeah, and Zombie. So you don't see a whole lot of Buffaloes in the UK. That's expected. They're probably not terribly common over here. You generally don't see a whole lot of them. I probably only ran into,
I
in my
had a
years of teching, I've only probably run into about a handful.
I had a really good Buffalo NAS drive, and it worked amazingly well.
I didn't have a problem. In fact, the service call I went where I saw the Buffalo router, it wasn't the router's fault.
Later, Undertaker. Have a good weekend.
Oh, later, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Later,
your
Undertaker.
spring.
Um,
Have a dip in the pool.
I wouldn't say that they're worse than Asus so much. I mean, again, it's a matter of some of this is a matter of opinion, but I would say do the
I'm-
Buffalo route if you want DD-WRT.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it. They are worse than Asus.
Okay, fine.
That's what I have. And I like Asus. I like all of Asus stuff. They do
He's
computers.
he's saying that, but
Routers.
he's being biased.
There you go.
Yeah,
I
I'm,
can
I'm a
say
big
that.
fan of Asus too, Brantley.
And see, even the person that recommended Buffalo likes Asus. So
Uh-oh.
already, it's set.
Well, I did burn up an Asus router. I'd never burned up the Buffalo.
How
Oh.
did you burn up an Asus router?
Well, there was a fire.
Well, it stopped working
And,
one day.
once the police and the fire department got here, everything was fine.
It was one of their cheaper ones. It was like about a $50 router.
Proctor's calling up customer support. How do I get the smoke back in?
Don't
It
let the
started
magic smoke
smoking,
out.
now it doesn't work anymore. How do I get the smoke back in?
Theoretically, it should be a reversible process.
What?
Well,
No.
combustion.
So, Tank, this was all for you. Do you know which router you're going to go out and get now?
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
You have your hand hovering over the buy now option.
No. Yeah, right.
All of them?
Yes, all of them.
Some of them.
Vast majority of them.
Oh, what is the?
Not the touchscreen one, though.
Yeah, not that.
Or the Google one.
Oh,
Yeah.
which?
On Asus's website, they do have a link to routers that support DD-WRT, but do not come with it.
Oh, that's
That
awesome.
would be helpful if you're buying a new router.
That
Oh,
is awesome.
Very nice.
So they are open to it. It's just my hardware revision doesn't support it. But I gotta say, I honestly don't have any need to put DD-WRT on this Asus router. It does everything I need it to do with the firmware.
Yeah, I like the Asus firmware too. I mean, I use the DD-WRT instead, but I did like the Asus.
Good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Alright, Tank, so which one are you getting?
I don't know yet.
Come on, pick one, man. Which one is
I
it?
can't.
What's it gonna be? What's it
That
gonna
one.
be?
It's going to be that one.
Is that
That
the
one's
one?
a very good choice.
That's the one you're going for? Really?
What?
After all this that we've gone through,
Well,
that...
it might end up being the other one.
Alright, we're gonna have to go over it all again.
And from the beginning.
This time, pay attention. No, really, I mean, like we've pretty much discussed and discovered through our talks here, it is pretty much just about looking for what you're going to work with and what ends up working best for you. There's all kinds of things that play into wireless routers and setups. Your walls, what's in your walls, your surrounding area. I mean, if you're living right beside one of those huge power transformer plants, not only do you have cancer, but you're probably going to have some issues with your wireless.
God, that was terrible.
I like that. That was a good tie-in. I enjoyed that.
But you are also going to have some issues with your wireless service and signals. And if you notice things like your cell phone signal drops when you go inside your house, you're probably going to have some issues trying to set up and maintain a wireless network. And if you're in an apartment complex and you have hundreds of other wireless routers all around you, there's also going to be some issues there. You have to remember that the 2.4 gigahertz range is pretty much open free range for any device on American airwaves. Pretty much that's the anyone can develop products for and put them out range. So your microwaves, your cell phones, your wireless, all of them are going to be operating in about that range. Even these wireless headphones are operating in that range. So every device you have is going to cause interference with your router as well. So keep that in mind. If you have 150 wireless devices going, you're going to have a stronger wireless router to overpower all of those other ones. So zombie worm, what? What? That's what he said. Just what?
What?
Mainly the biggest thing I would look for when I would get a wireless router if I was going to replace mine would be gigabyte LAN ports and AC compatibility and dual band. If you get those three things, you're pretty much covered and you'll be set for the next couple of years until your router runs out. You also have to keep in mind that these are things that stay on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they're pretty much working the entire time. So that's something to consider, is that maybe you just want to go ahead and budget buying a new wireless router every couple of years. That's not a bad option. The biggest thing, though, is configure your security.
Oh,
You want to have WPA2 AES enabled, and then have a super long, complicated password, so that even if people snag your challenge handshake, that they're not going to be able to brute force that in a reasonable amount of time. Don't use words in your password. Use crazy, complicated, weird passwords so that it can't just be guessed. Pretty much right now, to be able to crack a WPA2 handshake, you have to have a word list to be able to break into it. And if you have a 16-character password that's random letters, numbers, and symbols, they're not going to be able to break it. So your wireless will essentially be secure. So something else to keep in mind there.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything else they want to throw on top, throw out there, talk about at all?
nope.
Nope. I think I'm ready for dinner.
All right. I did have
I already
one last
ate dinner.
thing I wanted to bring up.
Say what?
Is that wireless channels in America, at least, they go from 1 to 11. And if you use an app like on the Android, they have Wi-Fi Analyzer, you can see what kind of wireless networks are around you and what channels they're taking up. And that will help for you determining what channel you should put yours on. Ideally, you want to have it like this so that all of the wireless networks are on one channel for yours, and then somebody else's are on a different channel. So you can see I'm sharing channel 6 with that other yellow person down there. But luckily I'm able to outweigh them. That
Who's the yellow person?
other one has channel 11. Someone with the Netgear, no wonder I outpower them. But you can also see too through this that just choosing channel 6 doesn't mean that everything stays on channel 6. they make kind of a U shape. So when you select channel 6, it's actually using channel 4 to channel 9. So it's 2 up and 2 down from there. So when you select 11, you can see it's actually taking up all of those channels. So it's kind of taking up a range of channels, and that's just where it selects best from. The higher channel numbers are going to give you better distance, I've found, and the lower channel numbers are going to give you better speed, but at a cost of distance. So keep that in mind. Also, if you're connecting to a 5 gigahertz, you want to be as close to the router as possible, because those really are made for media streaming devices, and from what I understand, it's recommended that you only have one device on that band. So you'd want to tri-band if you have multiple media streaming devices. So. All right, well, that is that for today's show. Monday we'll be back next week with Thanksgiving lineup, and I think we're going to have holiday shows. We're all going to be dressed up as a different person each day next week.
What?
So stay tuned and check.
I don't think so.
Oh my.
I'm going to be dressed as a tank. There.
You're going to be the
Problem
turkey.
solved.
I'm dressing up as a proctor.
Michael's going to be an Indian.
Oh, I call it Johnny.
It's Native American. It's Native American.
Not for the Pilgrims and Indians. They were Indians at that time. And Proctor's going to be a pilgrim. And Johnny, you can be...
Think long and hard before you say something.
You can be... we'll come up with it next week. Alright, so join in next week for our special holiday series and maybe some special announcements and different things. You'll just have to watch and find out. That's how we roll. So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday at 8 a.m. bright and early.
Yeah,
have a great one otherwise. Hope you had a good week. Laters, internets.
Good night.